What's up, everyone? This is King Crypto, and today I will be talking about why you should pay attention to January 26th, why the Bitcoin futures contracts might be affecting the price of Bitcoin, and my unique analysis on all these events. So I'm going to pick SB Films today because he always leaves comments on all of my videos, and he wants me to tell everybody my thoughts about Thorn. Thorn is a lending platform. It's like BitConnect. It's like the Vorcoin. There's only a matter of time before this one will die off. It'll probably last about 6 to 18 months. Personally, I am I am gonna buy some coins because it is going to go up 100x. But I'm not gonna leave the referral link down below because I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna promote these things anymore. And trust me, I wish I could because this is going to be easy money, but it's okay, guys. I mean, literally, I can put $100 into this thing and probably get $10,000 in a few months. So it's not like I really need it, your money, but I wish I could have some of it. But I'm a good person now, so I can't do it. Anyway, um, all right, let me send this. Fuck. Here's your $20. Enjoy it. Don't spend it all in one place. Let's go. Alright, guys, so what we're looking at right now is seemingly another correction. Correction after correction at this point. It just doesn't seem to stop. The markets are stagnant and decreasing in value. Unfortunately, all the coins seem to be going down. There's a few that are still going up, surprisingly, but overall the markets are just, it's about to cross over to 400 billion instead of 500. So there's a few indicators of this happening. Maybe it's just consumer confidence, seasonality still. I don't really know though. I don't buy that it's still that it's just in the month of January. I think there's more to it. So if we look at the markets in GDAX, for anyone that's seasonally trained or has been participating in trading for a few months now, you would know that during this time, everything went really low. But at the same time it went low, the amount of volume was huge when the market was correcting. And that has been a trend that we've been seeing lately, that as the price goes down, the volume increases. It was almost at 2 million Litecoin of volume last time the correction went down this much. So that's actually a bad sign because once the market started coming back up again and, you know, going up in this general direction, it was there was not as much volume, so there wasn't momentum for there to be major breakouts like we're used to seeing. And we're only seeing it when it's coming down. We're only seeing a large amount of volume. So I think people now are scared. And it could also be market manipulation, and I'd like to show you this. I'll link this below, but this is a very interesting graph. Someone really smart put this all together. And we can see here that this is pretty much, if you assume that the markets, the Bitcoin futures markets, have anything to do with it, and maybe if they manipulated the markets, then it wouldn't be hard to assume that when we look at this graph. So we got the CBOE futures launched, or Bitcoin futures were announced here. So yeah, we saw a parabolic move up really high. Crazy breakout here. And I mean, it could very well be that we could see how slow it's been too. It's been a natural progressing, come up stage. And really, we're at a point now, if you forget all these crazy breakouts and swings, if you connect the dots, it kind of makes sense that it would have grown at this steady pace. We would still be here if all this stuff didn't happen. We would still be at probably 10,000 by now, but it would have been a much more natural progression. But the news of all these things have pretty much made Bitcoin go crazy. So we bought the rumor and people sold the news once CME futures came out. A lot of people also believe that there were a few people that participated in the futures trading that owned a significant amount of Bitcoin. There were approximately almost 2,000 short contracts, which means they shorted Bitcoin, or they were hoping for the market to short. And that just means that they're betting on Bitcoin to be a lower price than a higher price by the end of the month. And we saw that happen. The first contracts ended around this period, and the price went down dramatically. And it looks like it's happening again. So I think it's easy to manipulate these markets because it's so fragile and it's speculation. It's not based on, uh, there is functional value and in being able to send currencies to another country in a matter of minutes. But aside from that, people don't have, it's a new technology. So with that new technology comes, I think, just a fragile nature of it being able to come up really high or crash. And it's been doing that a lot. And it's hard. It's hard to deal with these kind of crashes, I think, as a trader. It's stressful. So I can understand why it's happening because a lot of people that are new to this, they just thought it was going to keep going up and up. This is all new money, by the way. It's people that are getting in and then they're like, "Oh no, it's coming down," and some of it is market manipulation as well. So you should definitely read this forum because it's very, very interesting. And they're predicting, as a lot of YouTubers are, that the price of Bitcoin will come down to about $8,000. So that's something to keep your eye out for because the CME futures is bigger than the CBOE, by the way. So when the CBOE futures contract expired, we saw levels at 12,000. And now CME futures, if they pull off the market manipulation, all it takes is for a few big whales to sell everything off, right? Causing stop loss. So let's say, it already happened, but let me show you an example. You see these big crashes here, a lot of it is because people set stop losses. So let's say you bought Bitcoin at 15,000 and it gets to 13,200 and then you set a stop limit for that amount because it's just too high. You don't want to deal with that anymore, or you're afraid. The stop loss thing will just go off, and you'll get your money back. In most cases, you'll get it back. You might get it back at a lower price than you wanted, but you get it back. And then also the price of Bitcoin goes down further. So everyone's stop loss indicators or stop loss. Fuck. Sorry. When that starts going off, it's like a red flag, and then people start panic selling as well. So it's this big, just negative effect on just from a few big traders. Just as the 1% own most of the wealth in America, there's a very small population of people that own the most Bitcoin. I think it's like there's an interesting graph here. Let me find it real fast. So there you go, right here. 1% of the Bitcoin community controls 99% of Bitcoin wealth. And guys, just be honest. If you had that kind of money where you owned 99% of the Bitcoin wealth, it would be so easy for you to capitalize on that kind of wealth. Think about it. If you owned that much Bitcoin, you could totally cause a sell-off like this. You could just get a few friends together and say, let's short Bitcoin. Let's sell some future contracts, and I bet we could make big bucks. It would be that easy. So, these are big people that are manipulating the markets, and that's what I think is going to happen. I think we still haven't seen the worst of it. I think it's going to 8,000. The market did recover a little bit up to this level, but it's not going to stick. It is unfortunate, but I definitely see the market coming down even more. It might stabilize a little bit once we get to let's see. It'll probably stabilize the next day maybe, but the whales, if they want to win, they're going to win by any means necessary. You know what I mean? And it's going to happen. If the Bitcoin short price is 8,000, they're going to do whatever it takes to get to 8,000. However, after January 26th, once this is all in the clear and we don't have to worry about this anymore, I think what we'll see is a bull market again because we won't have any worries of this kind of market manipulation. And also, once the market has corrected this much, it has been oversold, to the point where people are just starving to get in. I think once it hits 8,000, that's kind of like YouTube's golden number. Everybody that I've been watching has at least believes it's going to 8,000, 8,300 to be exact. That's a great price to get in, by the way. So if you own Bitcoin right now, probably my friendly advice, not financial advice, but friendly advice, I'd say is hold what you have. And if you have the capital, buy at the dips, keep buying on the dips. And that's it. Just keep buying on every dip. Save some capital for each dip because it could go lower and lower. And once it hits 8,000, there's a very, very good possibility that the price is going to skyrocket back up again. And I'll be ready for it. And then we could very well see Bitcoin hit levels of 20,000. But there really is no telling. But it looks like January 26th will be the date. So keep that all in mind, guys. It is looking pretty scary out here, and this could essentially be a bear market. But for us to really call it a bear market, the market cap is still pretty high. I mean, it isn't high when you consider stock markets in general. Certain like the Nasdaq, or how much value is in certain stocks combined. But from what we came to in 2017. Clearly, Bitcoin used to be not even $1,000 last year, or might have been 1,000 maybe, and now it's all the way up to 10,000. So you still made a crazy amount of profit if you got in back then. If you didn't get in back then, you still can make profits if you play your cards right and buy the dips. This is a dip, but just understand that hodling is probably the best opportunity because it could go right back up again, or the futures market could take it down to 8,000, in which case I think we'll see a vengeance of Bitcoin and all the coins, and we'll see everything go back up really high. So all it takes is that momentum again. It's not hard for these markets to crash, but it's also really not hard for them to skyrocket. So keep that all in mind, man. And I hope this video is helpful. I'm King Crypto, and let's get cryptical.
King Crypto! Yo, hey, man. Here we go. I got nothing else to say. I want to welcome you to the fastest cryptocurrency channel in